In this video, I'm going to give you an example for the item number 8 of the activity sheet number 4. And the problem is the 119th term and the 19th term of an arithmetic progression are 241 and 41. Find the sum of the first 45 terms. Now, the formulas that we will need to solve this problem are these two. This one is to solve for the sum of the terms, and this one is used to find the value of the missing variable on this formula. Okay? Now, if we are going to identify what are the given on this problem based on this formula, let's start with that. Let's start with the given. What do you think is our n? It's 45 terms. We are dealing with 45 terms. Okay? So we are looking for the sum of the first 45 terms. So therefore, yung n natin is just 45. Now, what about the first term of that sequence? Do we know the first term of this sequence? No, it is not given. So that means it is still unknown. Okay? What about the last term or the a sub 45? Okay, since we are talking about 45 terms in this problem, then that means that the last term of this sequence is the 45th term or the a sub 45. Is it given? No. So that means the a sub 45 is also unknown. So we have a lot of problem in this problem. Okay, but it is also given that the 119th term is 241 and the 19th term is 41. So that means we can make use of those given in order for us to solve for the a sub 1 and then a sub 45. Okay? And what formula are we going to use? We can make use of this formula. Okay? So let's start finding the values of a sub 1 and then a sub 45 using this formula. But of course, using this given. Okay? So it is given that the a sub 119 is equal to 241. And it is also given that the a sub 19 is equal to 41. Okay? Now, let's use the formula. A sub n equals a sub 1 plus the d times n minus 1. Okay? So if this is our given, and we let this as our a sub n, okay, that means that our a sub n is equal to 241. Then we will have the following substitutions. Yung a sub n natin becomes 241 and then yung n natin is 119. So that means this becomes 119. But we still do not know what are the values of a sub 1 and then the d. So we have 241 equals a sub 1 plus the d times 119 minus 1. And then if you're going to simplify this one, we will have 241 equals a sub 1 plus the d times 118. Or d times 118, that becomes 118d. So therefore, 241 is equal to a sub 1 plus 118d. Now, this is not enough to find the value of a sub 1 and then the common difference. That means this is going to be our first equation. Okay? So if we have our first equation, that means we're going to have another equation just to find the values of a sub 1 and then the d. Okay? And we are going to get the second equation by using the other given, which is this one. Okay? So if we let this one again as our a sub n, then that means that the a sub n here will be replaced by 41. So we will have 41 and then yung n natin is 19. So this becomes 19. Okay? So the substitutions we will have are, so 41 equals the a sub 1 plus the d times 19 minus 1. Okay, so we have 41 equals a sub 1 plus the d, and then 19 minus 1 is 18, and then 18 times d, that is 18d. So we have 41 equals a sub 1 plus 18d. So this is now going to be our second equation. And what's the use of these equations? We can make use of these two equations to find the values of a sub 1 and then d. Okay, so if you're going to write the two equations, we have 241 equals a sub 1 plus 118d, and then the other equation is 41 equals a sub 1 plus 18d. And then if we are going to subtract them, okay, if we're going to subtract these two equations, then what we're going to have is 241 minus 41, we will have 200. That's 241 minus 41, then we will have 200. Okay, equals a sub 1 minus a sub 1, wala na. Okay, and then 118d minus 18d, that's 100d. Correct? Okay, and to find the value of d, just divide both sides by 100. Okay, so 200 divided by 100, that is 2. So therefore the value of d is positive 2. So that means we have here a sequence whose common difference is positive 2. Now let us make use of this value to find the value of a sub 1. Okay, so we can substitute this to either of the equations. Okay, so let's use na lang the second equation. 41 equals a sub 1 plus 18d. Okay, so solve for a sub 1. So we have 41 equals a sub 1 plus 18 times the d, which is positive 2. The value of d is positive 2, so 18 times 2. Okay, and then simplify, we have 41 equals a sub 1 plus, what is 18 times 2? That's 36. Okay, and to find the value of a sub 1, transpose this one to the other side of the equation. That becomes minus 36. So we have 41 minus 36. So what's left on this side is a sub 1 na lang. And 41 minus 36, that is 5. Okay, so therefore we have a sequence whose first term is positive 5 and the common difference is positive 2. Okay, so we now have the value of a sub 1, which is positive 5, but we do not have yet the value of a sub 45. Correct? So if we're going to look for the value of a sub 45, then let us continue this solution. Okay, so again we will go back to this equation. What is now the value of a sub 45? If we know that a sub 1 is 5 and the common difference is 2, and the number of terms is of course 45 minus 1. Okay, simplify. You have 5 plus 2 times, what is 45 minus 1? That's 44. Okay, and then 44 times 2, that is 88. So we have 5 plus 88. Now what is 5 plus 88? That is 93. Okay, so therefore the 45th term is 93. Correct? Now that we already have these values, we already have the n, the a sub 1, and then the a sub 45. That means we can now find the sum of the first 45 terms. Okay? So these are not our final answers, okay? Our final answer is going to be the sum of the first 45 terms. And to solve for that, we are now going to go back to this formula. S sub n equals n over 2 times a sub 1 plus a sub n. By substitution, yung n natin is 45 over 2 times yung a sub 1 natin is 5 plus the a sub n natin is 93. So, if you divide 45 by 2, that's 22.5. And 5 plus 93, that is 98. And if you multiply 22.5 times 98, that's 2,205. So therefore, the sum of the 45 terms is equal to 2,205.